Let's get warmed up, guys. Let's start standing. All right, now remember we want to, make sure we keep this yoga. So what is the yoga part, right? Where we're keeping it present and mindful, just slowing down, being clear, conscious. We're in that kind of parasympathetic, intelligent brain. All right, so you just stand up nice and tall for a few moments. Not going to be here very long. Lift the crown of your head up. They call it like body intelligence, right? Where you're really just tuning in and becoming more aware of the body, starting with the feet and the legs, the core, the shoulders, the head, the neck, the face. And it's that breath work. So nice deep inhale on your nose, nice deep exhale. So just a couple breaths to ground and center you, to create a little bit more of a meditative consciousness. So we will go into a standing warm up. We're going to bring you right down the floor for some straight ab and back and hip work, okay? So think of this first 10 minutes, this standing warm up. I'm going to be moving through some exercises. We're not challenging flexibility just yet or strength. Think movement and breathing to really flush the body with that blood, okay? Big inhale, big exhale. You guys know it's squat kriya, feet wide. Down with the arms, exhale with the breath. Inhale up with the arms, back with the arms. Exhale, inhale. I am already sweating. I did like 4 of them. And I don't sweat easy, okay? I'm trying to like over the time, if you have to create like the ideal yoga kind of mat calisthenics class, you have to kind of put this in there, right? See if you can find a nice rhythm. And if you're tight yogis, right? If you skied yesterday, you might not go as deep right here, but you're like this, right? It doesn't have to be deep, okay? Try to go for about a minute, another 20 seconds. You can reverse your arms. When you do this enough, you kind of find this rhythm in the movement. Anytime you're going to do stuff more, how your consciousness perceives it's going to be evolved, right? So that's that self-yoga study where you're kind of subtly, each time you do it, each rep and each day, you're evolving how your body and consciousness are working together. All right, now stand up, yogis. Separate your feet, loosen up here, okay? Loosen up your core. Remember, it's not for strain or really big flexibility, but just loosening up. Look, I can take it easy like this. I can get a little bit stronger here. I can even bend the knees and kind of pivot more. They're all the same kind of thing, yogis. Notice my chest doesn't really bend down. Last few, yogis, okay? There's all that science about how a good warm-up can make you a lot stronger. It can also help you avoid injury. It can also, help you better endurance. And it's funny because a warm-up can also change how your nervous system interprets sensation. So it's possible that a good warm-up can make you feel less pain, all right? Now go back to center. Watch the hips, feet wide, right and left. Now it can just be like this. It's good to do both. Straight leg hip tilt. Watch, I get the legs involved. Okay, see how I'm shifting weight and my upper body's going side to side. Look, I can get a little bit lower. Remember, guys, there are styles of yoga where we actually move really fast. I tend to teach pretty slow. We live in a big city. We're all kind of fast-paced LA people. So you slow down yoga a little bit, right? You don't want to bring people who are overpaced and busy-minded into yoga and we're too busy-minded and fast in yoga. But some days we got to move a little fast, right? Fast movement isn't bad. Now, watch me here. You go right and left. Now you go circle. My hands are staying in because it helps me have intention with the arms. It doesn't need to be exactly here, right? But if my arms are just flopping around, there's no intention. So I like to kind of hug it in. and then I go the opposite direction. The goal is to kind of move your body a lot in ways you normally don't. Like say you're doing a normal, say you go to the gym and your warm up is this. Fantastic for warming up, but minimal kind of complex ranges, right? So I want to get that body moving in a lot of ways you normally don't, okay? Go slow, step to the front of your mat. Okay, stand up tall. We're not hinging yet. We're gonna lunge first today. Still in warm-up mode. Big inhale. I want you to reach your back heel back. Lift your chest up away from that heel. This is our first back bend, okay? Exhale, right foot back, inhale. Exhale. You can see I am like arching a little bit extra because I'm using this to stretch my hip flexor of the foot that's back, okay? Inhale. Watch how my arms even go back. Again, it's not like we're holding the lunge. In and out, movement, breath work, core integrity. It's called the step back lunge, yogis. It's like classic in yoga, right? Just like we step forward from dog a lot, we also step back a lot from standing or forward bending. Just as classic. A lot of teachers, you see Iyengar, we never step forward. We only like step back. We go like years in that style, and then they're like, we're gonna step forward today. But the vinyasis always step forward, all right? Let's keep going, guys. Stand up, please. Feet together now, arms up. You guys know the drill, palms face up, squeeze your butt, don't go too deep. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Now just a few. You can do double exhale out the mouth. Again, I kind of show you, right? My speed isn't like the determining factor. Some days I'll move fast, some days I'll move slow. You know, it's really a question of how you're feeling and what's your intention. And like I try to say, if you always move really slow, maybe you pick a day, a good day, and you move a little bit faster. That's a good way to, you know, flip the switch on your body and to find some hidden growth in there in a nice subtle way. To do that same exercise your body's really used to, but just kind of at a different speed, or, you know, instead of just going right and left, do that extra exhale, okay? Now, let's keep going here, guys. I don't want you to do too many of those. Feet to the front of your mat. Feet hips width distance. Hip hinge. Inhale. Exhale. Butt squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Notice my spine stays long. I'm not even trying to reach my toes. Just notice, yogis, to start, I suggest bending your knees. A lot of integrity, strength in the body. Inhale. Squeeze. Exhale. Inhale. All right? So if you ever go to the gym, you see people have a bar and they go like this. It's called Romanian deadlift. Right? We did our squats, we did our lunges, we're doing our straight leg hinges. This is all like fundamental, like they call it Olympic weightlifting. It's like the fundamental symmetries of the body. When you're looking at building a strong foundation in your legs, you're doing it right now, okay? So I'm taking yoga and some modern exercise science and merging the two, the best of both worlds, right? I take this exercise right into the next one. Watch me here, okay? So I inhale now, my arms up. I exhale, I go all the way down. Inhale, my arms up. I'm still squeezing my core, my butt. Exhale, I'm still using strength. If you want more, I inhale here. Exhale, arms up and over. Inhale, arms up. When you're creating a warm-up, you want to remember that, you know, what's a warm-up for the arms? They're not weight-bearing. You didn't probably bear weight on your arms all morning, but your legs did, right? So we can go right into squats and lunges, but your arms didn't bear weight, so going right into push-ups might be a lot. Move the arms a lot without weight and complex, fast forms. Heat the body, then bear weight in the arms and in the core more. Usually a warm-up with core is considered intermediate. Legs is really how you start a well-rounded kind of mixed group, okay? Stand up, guys, step open. You got the last 3-4 movements, all right? Turn your feet out. I want to get our pull muscles going, okay? Arms up, feet turn out, exhale. Get low, inhale, reach high, stretch your waist, exhale. I'm going a little fast to show you the form. Feel it out. Yogis, don't let your knees buckle in like this. Watch. Don't let this happen. See how the knees kind of go in? Keep them out. Okay? Try to literally touch your elbows down back behind you. We have these muscles called the lower traps. They're going to reciprocally inhibit our upper traps. A lot of times, a lot of people get stuck like this, and all they want to do is massage and stretch this. But really what we want to do is activate an antagonist that's going to tighten, strengthen, and pull down on the shoulder. Okay? You can stretch this all you want, but until we have a little bit more muscular balance, you're not going to really get that release in the long term. Watch me here, guys. Now, this next movement's pretty big, right? So you got to maybe watch. You can start with your hands here. My feet are wide and open. Watch for a moment. It's goddess symmetry to coil. So it's lunge with a twist and a reverse. Watch. Inhale. Exhale. You can think energy work. Second side. Inhale. See how the right hand is on my left leg? My left arm goes up, over. I twist to the right. By far the biggest complex movement so far. So yogis, what's happening is as I see this view, I pivot forward over that leg, I'm in lunge, but then that left arm goes up and kind of across, okay? I come back to a neutral, symmetry. That's not really considered like a beginner movement, guys. You know, it's one of the biggest movements we can do standing. But it's fantastic. It's considered, you know, coil to coil is really about as big as you can stretch your body in any beginner or intermediate form, right? And there are ways to get a little bit further if we had like some bars or some contraptions, but coil to coil, does everyone get it? Let me see. Looks good. Nice, Kev. Nice, Leslie. Yes. So like there's like little easier variations. We've done this a lot. Twist. Twist, twist, twist. We've actually done this too. It's all kind of playing off the same thing, but now we're going big. See how the arms kind of really dance? It's big stuff, guys, so it's okay if you need to skip any of this stuff, right? Nice, Brian. You know, some of you guys are making up your own versions. It's cool, no worries. That's kind of confusing. Now we need a little bit of symmetry. Stand up, squeeze your butt, okay? Take a moment here. If you ever have a little achiness in your back, the hands are really powerful. It's proven, right? The hands emit electricity and electrons. So, you know, if you take your hands and you give any little rub or something like this, anything you're ever feeling tight, use your powers, okay? Next exercise, we're here in the end of standing. Left knee lifts. Hands in prayer or on your hips. Watch what I do. I bend my standing knee. I go slow. I inhale to start here. I exhale, I go here. Inhale, same side. I'm feeling my right leg, my core. Exhale here. A moving meditation. You can go more legs straight, right? Where you kind of go back to warrior 3. And you come back up. But we're on that same leg, and we're coming forward and back. It's our second round of hip hinges. It's our second round of step back as well, but we don't put the foot down. So we're combining 2 exercises in a much more challenging form, okay? Second side, please. I do a couple with the knee more bent, and then I do a couple with the knees more straight. I do a couple like micro movements, like it would be like this, a little faster, and then I would go more like what we call like hyper range, like further through the range and slower. So I try to kind of cover all those different types. Okay, I try to say, yogis, you see this in the yoga world, you know, the yoga students, the yoga teachers, and they're all like, this is right, this is wrong. Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this better? That's context. It's always a matter of context when we're looking at a question like that. You know, if I was teaching everyone a private, it'd look different. You know, let's not get into that habit of looking at right and wrong, but you know, what do we need right now? You know, what's appropriate and how are we feeling? Okay. Top of your mat, please. Feet together. Big inhale. Big exhale. Here we go. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, we're going to half lift. We're going to step back to dog. We're going to take a couple of breaths here, thinking a little bit more stretching in first inversion. Press your palms down. Lift your sit bones up and back. Yogis, most days I'll say move in ways that feel good. But there's got to be those days where, you know, I walk around the yoga room and some people are boom, they're like instantly still. They don't move at all. And then some people are like always moving in down dog. You know, work towards where you're less experienced in. And if you're always moving, you know, there's days to be still. All right. Be really disciplined some days. And then if you're always still, it's good to add that movement. All right, guys, so we're not going to hold the plank just yet. We will in a few moments, a few chaturangas to get the upper body going. I'm going to add 3 push-ups each round. Down dog, lift heels, round forward, inhale. Push up, exhale, halfway down, inhale up. Exhale, halfway down, inhale back up. Exhale, slowly halfway down, inhale back up. Now, exhale halfway or all the way. Press your feet, hips down. I'm showing the active variation. Most days, I do this one first. Activate the muscles first. Maybe bring it up a little higher. Down dog eventually. Again, on your own if you can. Push-ups are optional. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, low. Inhale, high. Eventually, back bend, maybe hovering if you're ready for up dog. Down dog. Take 3 to 4 more, please. Chaturanga Vinyasa, any form. We will hold plank, so you're more than welcome to go there if you'd like, but what we're gonna do is hold plank here. We're gonna do those hip extensions, and then boom, we're gonna hit your abs, all right? So we're gonna do a plank movement into side plank hold, and then we're gonna do back line. So you're gonna see forward body, twisting body, lateral body, and back body. And then it's boom, we're gonna hit those abs, and your abs will be begging for mercy. Now listen, guys, I keep going forward. We're gonna meet in high plank. We're gonna go down to the forearms, give those wrists a little break. Try to get the hips about as high as the shoulders. Maybe you're on the knees. Widen your feet. Now today, keep your forearms down. Watch the heels. They go left. Hips go a little left and down. Center, right. Forearms stay down. Heels left. Notice I pause. Heels right. Couple more. A lot of days we hold this, yogis, but I'm having you move today. You got to kind of play with your toes and pivot on the ball of the feet. My heels are going left and right. If it's ever too much, you know the deal. Kindness over the body. Great, kindness over the body. Kindness over the challenge, right? Kindness first. What's that old saying? Kindness is the beginning of wisdom, or something like that. Kindness is the sign of wisdom. So let's show it on our body here, guys. Listen, next time your heels are to the left, turn your left forearm in, bring your right arm high. Boom, stack those feet. Side plank. I know some of us like core, want to work hard. You hover your right foot. You can bring it down, tap, lift it up. You could lift it up, elbow, knee, bring it back, lower it down. Lift it up, elbow, knee, bring it back, lower it down. Bring it up, elbow, knee, bring it back, lower it down. Last 3 if you're doing it. If it's all too much, guys, remember our half side plank, you're here. I'm on the outer knee shin. Okay, let's come back to our forearm plank and let's do our second side. Side plank, please. Right forearm in, heels to the right. So remember I said we did all that arm movement. Now we're in the arm weight bearing. Good idea to move your arms a lot before you bear weight on them, okay? Second side, feet stacked, top arm can reach forward, left foot can lift a little bit. You can hold. Some of us are on the knee, no worries. Some of us are taking Shavasana. You're doing it mentally. You lift the leg if you want the whole thing. Exhale, it's left knee, left elbow, like a side body crunch, okay? You inhale back. Some of you are just going side body crunch. I was just giving you that little ABI adduction where the foot lowers down and lifts. Last few, guys. Let me see what you guys are doing. Uh-oh, Cole is checking out your form, Kev. He's like, stack those hips better. Nice, Victoria. Nice and slow there. Nice, Brian. Nice, Janet. Nice, Dawn. Everyone's doing their thing. I know. You know, I'm working you hard today, guys. You got to have these days where you're getting pushed past your limits. That's key, okay? You got to work you here. All right, now, I was going to bring you right into hip extensions, but it looks like most of you need a little breather. So come back to your knees and let's take a quick stretch. I like to give you a little breather, but also be productive here. So knees together. Try to sit between your heels. Our goal is to stretch our front body. It's been very forward bent heavy, right? The next thing we're gonna do is tighten up those buns, your glutes. So we're gonna hit the back short and active. Knees together, feet wider than hips. Go ahead, go back slow. Come back to your breath work now. Slow down for a moment. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale here, yogis. Close your eyes. Remember that calming your nervous system is a practice itself. When the nervous system gets overexcited, stimulated, irritated, we recognize it and use our consciousness, the methods we're learning, particularly breath and slowing down the body, to regulate. Last couple breaths here. So I do want to do our straight leg hip extensions, okay? On the knees, arm down. Here's the levels. On the knees, tabletop is easiest. More challenging is down dog. More challenging is plank. I'll let you decide, okay? Either way, what we're going to do is inhale, right leg lifts. Point the toe, squeeze the right butt. Bring it down, but don't put it down. Inhale it up, exhale it down. Inhale it up. Now, maybe you challenge yourself extra, go only halfway down. You see that? Halfway, up, halfway, up. It's a little like Pilates-like movement, guys. Pilates is some good stuff. You know, you want to get strong. There's a lot of science, and Joseph's Pilates spent years, you know, doing all types of different exercise, creating that system. Really brilliant. In down dog, it looks like this. Okay? In plank, it looks like this. Second side, right foot down. You should feel your butt. Left leg lifts. Goes down halfway. Left leg lifts. Okay? Last few. You know, this is a common yoga move. You know, we always say lift that right leg, whether it's in plank, whether it's in table. You do all this stuff all the time. A little bit more repetitive now to really get that muscle firing on a different level. Now, I want you to remember to always, which side is stronger, right? So my right glute fires a little bit better. So I always try to do a few extra reps on my left, or an extra set, or even I just do it first, making sure there's a little extra awareness in that left side. Gotta remember that, guys. That's personal, okay? Down to the knees, down to the butt, swing it around. Here we go. So listen, we're gonna go through a few ab exercises today. I'm not going to give you an amount. I'm going to give you, a few reps, and I'm going to say next exercise. I want you to think of it like a core sequence. Yogis, don't do it all. Okay, maybe. If it's too much, I want you to take a breather. If you want extra, block between your thighs. Just lay on our back. This is called the two-part crunch and sit-up. Now we put stuff together we've been building on. This is a little bit more intermediate. If it's too much, little here, little here, little here, little here. The whole time my lower back stays down. If you want the full exercise, watch. I'm on my back. Crunch, sit up. Watch. Crunch, down. Crunch, sit up. That's tough today. Crunch, down. Crunch, sit up. Crunch, down. We've done all these separate. It's kind of like breaking that down, okay? Now, say you're like, oh man, I can almost do it. Hook your toes under your couch. That is going to really help you develop that ability to get there, okay? So again, it's a crunch, sit up. Last few, down to crunch, tap your shoulders. Crunch, sit up, crunch, down. Last 2 or 3, please. That's a little bit more intermediate. That's from like the gymnastics. So it's the more full chain, but the pausing. Okay? Watch what I do now. Lay down on my back. Today, a little different. I usually have you curl your spine, but now, palms face down under the butt. Legs up. Pressure lower back down. To start, I want you to scissor your legs. So my legs go a little wide and then they cross. Legs go a little wide. If you want more, start to go forward, start to go down. So it's very much a leg workout now, okay? I'm coming back up. I'm still scissoring. Breath work, guys. If it's too much, stay up here. Just go like that. Go a tiny bit forward. Just to be clear, watch the angle. Last few, guys. Remember that usually the classic hatha yogis, they're not like, let's do core work. The whole thing is really core, right? Everything we've done so far is core. But we just take that more kind of direct, isolated approach a little bit in today's class, okay? Now go slow. Next exercise. Let's place our feet down. Basics. Left ankle atop right knee. Watch. Right hand behind the head. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale about 75% out. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhale, exhale. I'm adding a little pulse here, guys. It just makes it a little bit more challenging. So I bring my right upper quadrant to my left lower quadrant and I pulse it. And I don't pulse as much as, I don't drive as much into the twist as I do the crunch. Or let's just say it's more intermediate to drive into the twist. So the drive, the force, the compression is more in the crunch, a little less on like a really aggressive hyper twist. Twisting in that compression, be easy, right? To start at least. We did some warm-up twists, but I wouldn't say a ton. So, just be easy. Left side, right ankle, left knee, twist. I usually don't teach this version, guys. I usually teach you know, the bigger variations or the alternating sides, but good to visit it. It is a nice foundational core exercise. We're going to do 3 more and then we'll hit our back body. All right, guys, legs up. Today, a little different, lower back down. Start here, inhale, legs forward, exhale, legs back. If it's easy, inhale, legs forward, exhale, back, pop the pelvis. Look, if it's easy, here. Get her done. Uh-oh, I'm losing some of yous. And it's just good to remember, yogis, that the reverse crunch is key. It's very different. If we're only doing like the top body crunch, you're really only doing like half the equation. You know, remember, number 1 on an AMG chart, I always say like leg swing with the reverse crunch and the holding crunch. But in a nutshell, that's just hollow body, right? So let's, if it's too difficult, you can watch what I do here. Watch. I lift my hips, I lift my chest. I lift my hips, I lift my chest. I lift my hips, I lift my chest. So that's the double. I mean, really the double is this, chest and hips, chest and hips. I usually have you hold this and lift here. So you get that number 1 exercise, right? So let's keep going. Last 2 things, please watch. Here, block, little curl, left hand, left ankle, right hand, right ankle. Keep the little crunch. Remember, I have your lower body doing the crunch just now. I really didn't intend to have your upper body crunching, but now it's crunching your upper body and you're reaching here. Okay, so from this side, if you need the angle, so you're in this little crunch, and then you're going like this, hit your side bodies. Last 3 to 4, we already did side plank, yogis. We did standing side bend. Here's that, you know, big compression now. Because remember, side plank is anti-lateral flexion. I remember learning that. I remember learning like the idea between like an anti-rotation, anti-flexion, anti-extensions. And then I was like, whoa, we always have those patterns in yoga. And as soon as I applied, I didn't learn that in yoga trainings, right? I took my myology and kinesiology training and applied it to yoga. And I was like, whoa. And I started to look at where we're imbalanced. And it was about 2014, 15. And I applied our imbalance and my yoga skyrocketed in strength. Like seriously, my practice changed like so fast. Here we go, guys. Back to center. Last part. Static. Shoulders hover, legs hover, maybe here. Deep breathing. Ideally, toes as high as your eyes, toes spread. Just hold, breathe. Lower back down, okay? If you're just getting back in, you got kicked out, we're holding now, hollow body. Holy core. Lower back down, shoulders hover. Lower back down, guys. My teacher would come over. I'm not exaggerating, right? One of my teachers, he liked to pick on me because I was an athlete and stuff. And he'd come over and he'd like step on my abdomen. And it'd make me engage and like push my back down. But I get it. He was doing it because my lower back was arching. Okay? Get out of there nice and slow. Nice job with that core sequence today. Look, take one of these. Take a moment. Release. Now, guys, I am going to give you the option. We're going to do some bridge work, or they call it hip thrust, back body core. Now, just to be clear, we're going to do the back body. You don't have to do up cable because I'm going to give you another upper back exercise after this. So It's okay to do bridge right now. If it gives you better focus here, up table's too much, you're gonna stay on your back, okay? Block between your thighs is a good idea. Arms go down. If you wanna go big, up here, same position, hands behind you, fingers forward, okay? Here we go, bridge up and down to start. Press through your feet, press your lower back down. I'm teaching the bridge a little bit more. We'll lift those hips. We'll drop the butt down. Lift those hips, drop the butt down. Lift those hips, drop the butt down. You got about 6, 8 more. Either way, you're doing what's called like hip extension. Now, what you need to really work on, guys, is that what we call potentiations. It's those little cues we give you in yoga to make everything more efficient and intelligent. What is really alignment doing? It's making you more efficient, aware of the subtle, what are you doing with your body, okay? So hold your last round, work posterior tilt. Remember that your back's gonna arch, and so I want you to try to bring your pubic bone kind of forward and up. In hip thrust. So you can do bridge your whole life. This is really important to understand, guys. You can do bridge for years in yoga, but if you're an anterior tilt and hip extension, you get minimal development and growth. You probably keep tight hip flexors. But if you're trying to reciprocally in a bit and correct that anterior tilt posture, you need that tilt of the pelvis here, okay? Posterior. Take a little breather, shake it out. Let me show you how important, hip thrust is. If you look here, you see my hip thrust machine? That is a machine I have set up in my living room always, okay? And it's because it's basically like the most important exercise, if I have to pick one, okay? We want the back body stronger, all right? So I bought a machine, it's $200. Yoga Sprout, or the Body Sprout company. It's a fantastic piece of equipment, $180, game changer, okay? Second round is one-legged. Now, bridge on your back looks like this, stabilize with your arms better. Hip thrust, tap. Hip thrust, tap. Up table, same thing. Hip thrust, tap. Come on now. I need you to step into your passion, your enthusiasm, and work here. Because this is peak backline already, guys. We're already 40 minutes in. We did not weight bearing straight leg hip extensions. We did standing hip thrusts. You're ready, okay? Work, breathe. Bridge is fine, up table's more. That little piece of equipment, it's nice too. It's sturdy. And like if I do a private, sometimes I'll bring it. We got to get people working their back body, especially in yoga, man. I mean, really, you go to the gym, no one's really working their back body that much, right? There's no replacement for hip thrust. Okay, second side, guys. Just be easy, because this is also, if you're new to it, you're putting a lot of strain through your backside body that might be underdeveloped. So start with 3 to 6. Work towards 9 to 12, okay? Nice, Steven. Main thing is those hips go up, okay? Nice, Kev. Press the big toe down. That's like the main, what we call the potentiation. It kind of makes the whole chain stronger. What equipment is that called again? Will you show us how it works? Oh no, I unlocked the beast here. Let me see how I can do this quick. We have a puppy, so the house is a mess, but I don't really care. So this is called the hip thrust machine. So the wood piece, my feet go on, and that is where my back lays. Do you see that? It's like a padding. So I lay my back on that. I'll show you, if you want to stick around after class, I'll show you, because I kind of have to move my computer, or I'll move the piece of equipment. And it just allows me, you see I have the bands there, they're wrapped in that circle thing, and that's 135 pounds. Each one is 45 pounds of resistance. I'll show you after class if you want to stick around, okay? Now take a short breather. We're going to do one more round here. Now, if you're on your back, I do want you to switch it up, unless you want to do one leg again. Okay, one more round. if you're on your back, I'd like you to do the rotational quality one, where our soles of the feet are together and you're here. And I'd like you to combine, kind of move in, and then hold. Now look at the difference. Watch my core, watch. Here's the subtle tilt. Look how my lower back is arched. Do you see that? That is what I'm trying to not do. Watch. Do you see the pelvic tilt? That seems subtle, but it's huge. I want to let my knees open, lift my hips, posterior tilt. Lift, lift, lift. My lower glutes fire so much more, okay? You don't want just your upper glutes firing anyway. You're going to get like back tension. Watch me here, guys. If you want to go big, reverse plank, okay? So third round, you did some double leg, you did some single leg. Now, one round only though. I don't want to like do too much, you know, here. You do a few taps, lifts, and then you're gonna hold, okay? You got one more round, they're all hip thrusts. Yeah, so that name of that equipment is called the hip thrust machine. You know, there's ones online for like $600. Don't buy those. This one's better anyway. My friend has one, you know, she's like doing everything she can to make her butt more muscular. And she paid like $600 for this one company. And this one's better. And it's only, I think I paid 180 or something like that. We can do the butt challenge. 30 days a row of hip thrust. You do that like one day and you're like laying in bed, you're like, whoa, my butt feels tight. All right. So it's good to, you know, invest in your health. You know, you gotta sometimes get some equipment, and especially if you're committing to working out at home. I still go to the group classes in the gym, but you know, it's good to have that at home as well. All right, guys, so I want you to, you know, take a little breather, and I want to give you a little stretch. We need a stretch twist. A twist is a good way to counter front and back body. We did all that front tightening, crunching, sit-ups, twisting, side crunching, compressions. What's a good way to kind of loosen up the front and the back? It's twisting, right? So after you're done with your hip thrust, 3 rounds, all a little bit different, you're gonna make your way onto your back. I suggest a little happy baby, maybe. But when you're ready, left leg release, just take it across. First time going into like a big hyper twist stretch. You know the drill here. Classic yoga, just take a moment. I used to be so organized. Now that we have a puppy, everything is like a mess. There's like no time. You never catch up in the cleaning right now. So, pardon my messy room here. All right, guys. So stretch to your other side, please. So if you got my email, this class is called Core and Mobility. Mobility is the modern approach, even though vinyasis are all about that. The strength through movement and range of motion development, controlling all body with strength in any movement you're creating or range of motion you're developing. So that leads us into our final part of class, okay? Where we're gonna do a couple of these drills that we've done a lot of. We hit backline enough so it can support it. We just did a stretch to calm your nervous system. Something that feels good, all right? We're gonna meet back in center. We're gonna rock forward and back. We're gonna sit up. And then we're gonna cross the right shin in front of the left. Instead of stretching right now, forward. Hold on one sec there. All right, so the right shin in front of the left. Just notice, guys, my feet are flexed, my ankles aren't crossed. I'm not like this, right? I'm setting it up with a lot more support and tension. Watch me here. I inhale forward, I exhale up. I'm using my hands for emotional, psychological support, but not really doing much. Minimal. Maybe you're here. You're pressing your outer feet down. You're here. I do this one more so than not. If you want to go crazy, warning, this is not for beginners. It's pigeon. I have to really crawl my left foot back, press my right shin down. I inhale forward, I press through my right shin, I lift my core back. Look at my back knee lift. This is the more developed version. Okay? Go ahead. Last few on that first side. We also do it in double pigeon, okay? The goal, yogis, is to have your body like freely movable, but strong. We don't want to be able to move into a space like, let's say, a flexibility, but then you can't activate muscles there or support the body. That is like the definition of injury, right? If you can bend over here in the kitchen and grab something, but your body's not strong and developed to stand up like that, what's the point? All right? That's how you get injured anyway. So let's slowly stand up, sit up, and do our second side. People doing pigeon, you might have to shake that leg out a little bit. Sukhasana, same thing. Again, you're here. You're here. More advanced is like, the more weight you put up or forward, it's just more challenging. Here, here, eventually more like here. Keep your spine long, yogis, okay? Don't go down too far. Last few. And remember, people say, in pigeon, do I have to keep my shin parallel to the front of my mat? No, it's different. This is a very much different pigeon than this is. It's good to do both, okay? Right, that back foot has to crawl back though. That's what's going to really allow you to kind of come back up. You go forward, you press to your left shin, come up. Okay, last few, please. So this is just dynamic stretching, dynamic active stretching. I know a lot of you were in class on Monday. A lot of people who take the morning classes never get into the night, so I want to bring a little bit of that into this class too, right? Because I got to teach mobility, guys. I can't just teach stretching and strengthening. There has to be that kind of blend of the two, all right? And then our final one here, guys, sit up. When I see most of you done there, I cue forward, is the same thing except legs are wide and straight. They were just crossed and bent. I'm going to inhale forward. I got to engage my legs. Okay, I come back up. I inhale forward. I exhale up. From the side, yogis, you want to see my spine here? See how it stays long? Back up. Last few. Yeah, some of you are stretching. That's cool with me. I'll encourage you to do some stuff, but some days your body's just like, no, I just need this stretch. I get it. Most days we stretch. Nice Dawn, nice Leslie, nice Kev. Nice Victoria, good posture. Nice Janet and Brian. This is also a mix of kind of like the modern exercise in the yoga forms. All right, let's keep an open mind. Let's not get too, preferences here, and let's just, break our patterns. That's how we're going to grow. So yogis, you're done there, right? You did your mobility drills. We just came from a twist. We came from active hip extensions. We did the front body stretch. You could say we're done with all that stuff. We're done with core. But if you wanted to do one last thing, most of you are done. Listen, if you don't want to do any of that, we got time for one inversion. I'm going to take 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to do one last core exercise, inversion option, or if you want to do a stretch. Let's do 2 minutes of free practice. And then we'll take a stretch or two just to close together. So if you wanted that last core, remember that hypertrophy, rehab, it's all like very isolated, right? So if you're trying to, get a six pack, you keep the muscle engaged and do like little pulsing. But if you want to make the full chain stronger, you do the full work, the more the body, the triple chain, okay? If you want to go even bigger, you add more. Elbows in, hands plant, lift your butt, okay? Inhale, take your time, exhale. Holding this is one of the supreme front body tensions. So just holding this is another option where I kind of go here, lift my butt, lift my heels, hold. I gave you a couple options there. Easy options, guys. Here. Chill out. Breathe. You did enough. If you want to go more, you could do something like plow or shoulder stand. Go slow. Here. Maybe here. Headstand is a nice option. Handstand at the wall is a nice option. So I gave you one last kind of front body blast because I know a lot of you like to do extra abs today. That's why you're here. So now we kind of take that big full sit up, maybe even with the hip lift. And then you got to be careful though, because we just did a lot of the back line lengtheners. So what am I going to end with? Back body stretches, right? Back body shorteners, restorative bridge or fish. All right, so last round here. This is a class I try to say, very likely to get a little irritation in the lower back, very likely. Just take that as an opportunity to, get better at rehabbing the body. If we're gonna push and try to develop strength, tightness is gonna happen, there's gonna be little micro kind of strains. Those are temporary, the body's designed to heal itself, okay? So listen, guys, I do want to give you a few moments to unwind here. I got 9:53. So let's take about 3-4 minutes max here to unwind. Nice job with your last core. Some of you are still going in inversions. I think it might be good if you have a block to go here. All right, just kind of let your lower back rest on the block. But if you want to go big, see how I bring the block a little lower and boom, I take the passive hip thrust. You see how it's hip thrust, how my hips are the highest point? I still want to be in posterior tilt. That's why the block is so low on my tailbone, okay? Take a few breaths here. If you feel like you need another hip stretch, feel free. We did hamstrings, inner thighs, front hips, and outer hips. It's all done. Go slow here, guys. Next restorative posture. Butt on the floor. If you want a hip stretch, I would just recommend this one. Left ankle at top, right knee, knees go left. So it's not really figure four, it's that knee rotation. Right hip. See how the knees went figure four, but then the knees went left. Okay? If you want to do one last core, we did a lot of this crunching. So what am I thinking? Restorative fish? You would have to sit up, guys. Block under your upper back. Maybe second block under your head. Hips on the floor now, arms wide. Sometimes we start class in this in yoga core, right? Couple of breaths, guys.
So both of those are nice kind of like core releases, even though they are hitting the hips a little there too, especially in the first one. Okay. So listen, guys, let's take a last minute here. Take a moment, come off your block slowly. Any last poses that feel good? If you want to do a little any last thing, but we do want to make sure we calm the body. Did a lot of movement, a lot of hard work. So Shavasana is definitely needed. So your goal is just to get really comfortable, seated, laying, maybe throw a towel over your eyes, and just relax and rest for a few moments. I like to remind you at this point that it doesn't matter how much you exercise. Seriously, it doesn't matter how much protein you eat. You will not build muscle if you don't sleep well. Period. Right? Our body builds protein synthesis, muscle, bone, all in sleep, and your brain cleanses, rejuvenates in sleep too. All right. So we got to train our body to rest daily. So let's do it. Comfortable position, maybe a deep breath or two, eyes are closed, and you just slowly let your body melt. You let your bones get heavy. Once you take a breath or two, you even relax your lungs. There's no deep breathing, okay? So we're gonna go final pose here, 3 minutes, letting your body rest. If you have a few extra minutes, please stay where you are. Just kind of leave the meeting, close your eyes again. Try to work on extending this if you have time on certain days, okay? You know what I like to suggest, free movements, feel good, scanning through the body, smaller body parts. So just a quick announcement, tomorrow night I am going to teach the yoga sculpt again, 5:30 p.m. We do some nice kind of foundational yoga poses, but add a little bit of lightweight. So you just need dumbbells, work well. It's really a nice way to just add a little bit more kind of weight bearing exercise in different ways that we normally can't do. It's really fun. So 5:30 to 6:30 tomorrow night. I also have that new class, restorative yoga, on Fridays at 5. Okay. If you're ever sore, you need some suggestions, you reach out to me. Don't be shy now. Okay. Tradition yoga, we kind of take a moment, the humble, the grateful, step into that gratitude meditation. And then we kind of bow to each other in the namaste. Thank you guys. Really nice job today.